welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, here in the Carpenter's Guild, to take up this job. Greetings, adventurer, and welcome to the Carpenter's Guild. We are the artisans who take wood and grant it new form and purpose, as the archer's bow, the lancer's spear, and the novice's shield. If carpentry holds any appeal, you should consider joining our guild. Might you be interested in learning the ways of woodwork? Yes? Wonderful, wonderful. Now before we proceed, I think it's only right that I acquaint you with our guild's storied past. Since the founding of Gridania, we have built our homes and crafted our weapons from the trees of the 12th wood. As our nation grew and prospered, the woodworkers' repertoire expanded to encompass a greater variety of articles, and carpentry developed into an art. At first there was no association of carpenters. Each individual worked and sold his services independently. However, the advent of water mills meant that more efficient construction methods were needed, along with formalized maintenance regimens, all of which necessitated organization. The Carpenter's Guild was founded to oversee the operation of water mills and promote cooperation between woodworkers. Now, I must mention at this point that we owe much and more of our prosperity to the Great Loom Growery. Thanks to the hardworking botanists, we are blessed with the finest lumber in all Eorzea. This confluence of ideal circumstances allows us to provide all manner of goods and services to the people of Gridania. My apologies, this was rather longer than I had intended. Still, I trust you have gained a greater understanding. We expect our members to drink deep of the collected wisdom that the guild has amassed over the course of its history, to actively seek an understanding of wood and the techniques required to work it, rather than simply waiting to be taught. We expect, in short, nothing less than total commitment to the craft. If you wish to start down this path, speak to me once more. I shall explain to you the enrollment process. Would you like to learn more about the enrollment process? That's why I'm here. Wonderful. I should mention at this point that Timbermaster Bearton assesses all would-be apprentices personally, so you would need to obtain his approval before you begin. Timbermaster Bearton can be a harsh and unforgiving man, but if you love the craft and have a will to learn, you could ask for no better tutor. He is quite simply the finest carpenter in Gridania. Of course, it will take some time and no small amount of effort to comprehend the full extent of his teachings, but you may rest assured that he will not lead you astray. That said, when you meet him, I would advise you to choose your words carefully and resist the urge to run away. Another green adventurer come to play with saws. Well then, I suggest you first speak with a... Oh, you've met Cork, have you? That is well, but know that the decision to initiate you into the guild rests with me. Tell me true, adventurer. Have you a mind to devote yourself to the art of carpentry? Yes, I do. The look on your face bespeaks determination, or mayhap trapped wind. Still, you look strong enough to hold a saw, and if your resolve is indeed genuine, I give you leave to remain, for the time being. However, you are useless to me in your current state. You are as a seedling. Some potential perhaps, but no more like to thrive than perish. Experience is what you require, girl, and I shall give you the means to acquire it. Take this saw. It is old, yes, but sharp as needs be. Now, prove to me that you are not completely incompetent by taking up your new tool. Once you have done so, present yourselves to me for inspection. Yeah, equip the main hand weapon, or tool in this case, and perhaps some clothes. Good, you have proven that you know how to grip a saw, but do not mistake it for a mere tool. It is a part of you, of your arm. And can you put down a part of your arm? No. Mark me then, if you do put it down, and worse, lose the bloody thing, I shall use mine own saw to demonstrate to you the pain of losing a limb. Ah, but I jest. One-handed carpenters are scarcely half as useful, in my experience. In any case, merely holding a saw does not make you a carpenter, whatever some might think. You must become one with it and learn to feel with it as you work the wood. To wit, you must first know the wood. Demonstrate your knowledge by bringing me a length of maple lumber. Maple lumber is made from maple logs, just so. Our man Ferrell by the entrance will furnish you with such logs for a nominal price. Of course, any fool knows that fresh-cut logs are laden with water. To guard against decay, we use wind charts to hasten the natural drying process. Do not forget to do the same. Oh, I like that they actually mention what the shards are good for here. Not like in other jobs where it said you need the shards. So, and I'm already botanist, and so I have hacked my own maple logs and got them. Yeah, not much to do right now. And I'm thinking about leveling a bit here before I continue. But doesn't really matter. Anyway, yeah. Creating the first item is a piece of cake. Okay, here is my first log. Lumber. Yes, I feel it. The wood tells all. There's no careless cuts. Saw and Carpenter moved as one, as if dancing. Do you see this grain? How it flows softly like syrup? Durable yet pliable, suitable for weapons and armor both. This, child, is maple. Trace the grain with your fingertips and memorize the lines. Consider every characteristic when choosing your materials. That is what it means to know the wood. The maple lumber you have brought me is acceptable. You have passed the first test. Yet for all it has grown, your knowledge is still lacking. You must needs learn more. A true carpenter knows the qualities and uses of every tree in the forest. When you know the lines of a maple better than those upon your own hand, return to me. I shall have another test for you. Until then, child. Yeah, meaning with level 5. Okay. Time for a little time skip. It is plain from your bearing that you and your saw have begun to move as one, as true partners. Good, you're ready for the second test. You must be the wood. Before you brought me maple lumber to demonstrate your knowledge of wood. This time you will demonstrate your ability to create with it. I bid you craft me 3 maple shields. For this we require maple lumber and bronze rivets. As you would expect, our guild supplier Ferriel has no shortage of that which you require. Should you desire a more economical solution, however, you might consider a more traditional method of acquisition. Many materials essential to our craft are harvested by our steadfast allies, the botanists of a great Lomgoroi. Were you to befriend one of their numbers, you might be able to come to a mutually beneficial arrangement. Or if you would rather not be beholden to another, you could even try your hand at botany. Now go, and do not disappoint me. But of course doesn't get you the bronze rivets you need. For that you need a blacksmith or armorer. Okay, but I have both already, so let's start crafting. I just show off the last sheet, okay? What's this? Have you only bent wood to your will? See for yourself, Guildmaster. You are no work a day, Carpenter. That much is plain. Well done, child. Your shields are most satisfactory. The patterns of a grain, the lingering scent of maple. Your choice of materials is excellent and the construction above criticism. Few carpenters can claim such skill. Mielezen once favored shields of wood. Do you know this? Today it is not so. They, like your adventurer brethren, are wont to choose the surety of the armorer's metal. But a sheet of wood provides ample protection for a lower price. It is readily made and readily replaced if broken. And while not quite so sturdy, it may yet serve to spare a man his doom just as readily as any sheet of metal. To imbue shields and spears with your strength, to pour your life into the wood, that others might preserve their own. This is what it means to be the wood. Such responsibility is not to be taken lightly, child. You have passed the second test and in doing so have earned this amateur's clawhammer. Though the saw will suffice for many tasks, a carpenter who wields blade and hammer both can perform a trade with greater ease. If you wish to improve as a carpenter, it is essential that you learn to use the two tools in combination. Continue to refine your skills and return to me when you're ready to take the next step. Yeah, equipment matters. Because it has stats that define how successful you are at crafting. Level 10. I see by the wearing of your saw blade that you have not neglected your carpentry since last we spoke. Very good. You will soon be ready for your third and final test. In the meantime, the guild has need of your services. You're familiar with ash wood? But of course you are. I bid you craft me ash lumber. A simple task, you say? Then you shan't have trouble crafting me 12 lengths. This is no jest, we used our last few mere moments ago. So you see, this assignment is motivated purely by practical concerns. I would ordinarily handle such a trifling task myself, of course, but I'm feeling unwell and I do believe you would benefit from the practice. Now go, and do not disappoint me. Okay, already have 6 right now, but that's of course not enough. So I now switch to botanist and hack some blocks for that. Hack. Hack. Okay, and let's work our wood right here in the forest while it rains, because this is the level 10 quest, which means quick synthesis tutorial. Okay. Good, master, I'm done. I hope it isn't wet. Have you brought the ash lumber? I have. Such prodigious quantity. Thank you, child. You have done your guild a great service. Ash lumber is renowned for its unparalleled flexibility. This quality makes it ideal for use in bows and myriad other weapons. By the same token, ash lumber is easily worked and was ideal for learning the basics of our craft. Such a versatile material is understandably popular, so we always have need of more. It may also interest you to know that ash possesses certain medicinal properties. Tea brewed from its bark eases various complaints. Complaints such as that which I am presently afflicted. Suffice it to say, I'm pleased to see that your lumber is dusted with a sufficiency of bark fragments. But let us return to the subject of carpentry. You have proven yourself more than capable of working without my guidance. If you wish to market your craft to others, speak with Contrant in the Carline Canopy. He has an abundance of guild labors waiting to be fulfilled. Continue to refine your skills and return to me when you're ready to take the next step. Yeah. Now I'm curious, what is it that ash bark is good for? Yeah, next one is level 15, so yeah, I'll look that up later. Well met, Serenia, your training as a carpenter is almost complete. Indeed, I had a splendid final test prepared for you. Alas, the plight of one of our guild's neo members demands my attention. The boy's name is Mera Pamera, and he is an adventurer like you, though one of rather less promise. Something troubled the lad, yet he is loath to speak of personal matters with me, though I am the very soul of understanding, as you know. Mayhap you would fare better? I sense you may be more inclined to speak with a fellow adventurer. Go now, Serenia, and do not disappoint me. God strikes me down for a fool. I'll never be able to finish in time. Please, you must help me. You can make an ash shortbow and feathered harpoon, can't you? You see, I went and forgot that I had agreed to craft 2 weapons for the Archers and Lancers Guild for delivery no later than, well, today. But today I'm also obligated to complete an order of 100 lengths of oak lumber. The point being that I can't possibly do both, and Timmermaster Beartin is a veritable terror when his wrath is on him. If I then neglect either duty, he surely will not spare me his saw. So, while I labor up over this lumber, might you consent to craft the goods for the guilds? Thank you. Oh, when you finish them, I'd appreciate if you could deliver the weapons to the relevant guild masters. Godspeed. Now, neat. A feathered harpoon. And an ash short bow. Okay, I need some materials. For now, this is rather easy. You can buy everything you need from the guild. That was the last thing I needed. So, an ash short bow. Ah yeah, I'm not very good at this crafting yet. Okay. Now to deliver one. Okay, the Quiver's Hold. So where is Guildmaster Not you. You are the guild receptionist. Lucian is over there. Welcome, adventurer. To what do you owe the pleasure? Delivery. Is this the ash shortbow you ordered? Thank you for delivering it. One of our Mikoto recruits has been struggling, lest you wonder. Talented though she is, the longbow we furnished her does not suit a Mikoto's shorter arms and slighter frame. But I dare say the shortbow, with its lighter draw weight on a modest span, should help her reach her true potential. Indeed, shortbows not unlike this were favored by her ancestors, and some things never change. It's clear to me that a great deal of care went into this shortbow's construction. I will see that our recruit spares no effort in making the most of this boon. One day, I join the guild. Well, and here I'm already a guild member, so... Well met, adventurer. You do not see me here for training. No, I'm here for a delivery. Ah, the feathered harpoon. My thanks for the delivery. Had we not received it in time, I was considering using a fisherman's harpoon instead. You seem surprised. I take it you're not aware that the harpoon we use in battle were born from the humble fisherman's tools? Aye, when Huron fishers migrated inland from the coast, they adapted the tools of their trade to use in the hunting of game. The resulting harpoon proved a fearsome weapon indeed, and so the lancers of old took it for their own. Hard to believe, is it not? I must say this harpoon is a particularly impressive piece of craftsmanship. My compliments to the carpenter. Okay, Guildmaster, it's done. Kinda wish I had talked to Mera again. How kind of you to assist Mera Pamera with your orders. The Guildmaster spoke highly of your craftsmanship as well. This is very good. Do not attempt to mislead me, I know full well it was your work. Needless to say, it was necessary to punish the Lalafell. I seem to spend more time sawing apprentices than wood of late. I jest, of course. A saw is wasted on an apprentice. The stink of blood lingers, making it hard to focus on work. This I know. I will admit, I was not ignorant of Mera Pamera's situation. In fact, I recognized an opportunity to test your character. You aided your fellow carpenter with no prospect of reward, delivering finely crafted goods when merely serviceable ones would have sufficed, and you claimed no credit. I'm proud of you, Serenium. There is no doubt in my mind that your talents will serve the nation of Gridania well, and save many lives. Just as it will bring about many deaths, this is the responsibility of all who make weapons. But a choice between the death of our people and the deaths of our enemies is no choice at all. You have passed the third and final test. Congratulations, Serenium. By your actions, you have demonstrated your understanding of what it means to know the wood, be the wood, and to love the wood. You possess the knowledge, skill, and compassion necessary to master carpentry. By overcoming these trials, you have proven you're no longer a novice. The sapling is well on its way to becoming a tree. You are now a true carpenter of the oak atrium. No, though, but however refined your skills may be, there will always be more to learn. Represent us well on your travels, Serenia, and return to us often. You shall always be welcome. Level up. Level 17 is not quite level 20, which we need for the next quest, so more leveling for me. Serenia, my thoughts have turned to you lately. I thought you had owned your skills further than last we met. In that case, I have a request. Maybe you've made iron lances before for your customers? However, you have not made them for me. As you doubtless know, my standards differ from those of others. An iron lance design is one of elegance and simplicity, and I would see you demonstrate your understandings of those qualities through your work. 'Tis I ask of all my charges. The iron lance is a marriage of elm, iron and leather. As you're doubtless aware, the requisite elm lumber and circles of leather are readily available within the city. Iron ingots, however, are much rarer, as they are forged by the smiths of Limsa. Procuring them will prove far more problematic. You must steel yourself for a long and arduous journey, Serenia. The wilderness is infested with unspeakable horrors, and the roads are watched by bandit hordes. But I jest. While such arduous character-building trials may have been possible once upon a time, they are less simply unfeasible now. You need only browse the market boards or enlist the aid of a blacksmith associate to obtain the iron you require. Oh, and there's but one more thing you must needs do. I would have you attach a single materia to the lance you craft. Any type will suffice. I find it hard to believe that an experienced adventurer like yourself could be unfamiliar with the substance, but on the off chance that you are, I suggest you seek out that goblin fellow in Central Fanalan. There's no one more knowledgeable on the subject. When you are in possession of all the necessary materials, I bet you craft me a single materia enhanced lance. Okay, iron lance, I have already everything. Okay, let's finish this thing. And of course, melding like every level 20 crafter quest. Just to have done it at least once. Yeah. Doesn't make much sense to put this materia in there, but yeah, any materia will suffice, right? Is your lance ready? I'm eager to see what you have wrought. You do not disappoint, Serenia. Your lance exceeds my expectations. These formidable weapons were originally intended to use by the Guardian cavalry and were designed with the aim of maximizing the bearer's effectiveness on the field of battle. By utilizing the speed of his mount, a lance-wielding knight could easily deliver a devastating blow that would cripple, if not outright kill. But the mode of attack placed significant strain on both the rider and his weapon. Should the latter fail, the knight would be left defenseless. Needless to say, the Iron Lance proved to be anything but prone to failure, eventually prompting Gridania's woodwellers to adapt it as their own. The difference between the modern Gridanian weapon and the Guardian original are not so substantial, amounting to little more than a smaller vamplate. Our lancers do not require the same protection as a mounted knight, you see? Fascinating, is it not? The history our weapons carry, how they change and evolve to meet different expectations. Truly all things possess potential for growth, weapons and armor, forests and cities, and aspiring carpenters. Remember this too, Serenia. I will. The Iron Lance is a marvelous weapon, not because it does not bend at the moment of impact, but because it does not break. To bend yet not break, to endure and persevere, and finally triumph. When I gaze upon this lance, I am reminded of the singular importance of resolve, a quality I saw in you when first you joined us, and that will serve you well in the future. Whatever troubles you may face, remain resolute as an iron lance, and you will succeed. Okay. And a better saw. And more leveling for me. Something appears to be troubling Guildmaster. Oh, Serenia, you look well. If you have come in search of work, I fear I have nothing to offer. Though, if you have no other pressing responsibilities, you might consider spending some time with the younglings in the Icon Orchard. The workshop has demanded my full attention of late, and I have been unable to see to them myself. That will be all, Serenia. Hey, you're one of us adventurers who joined the guild? Beaton's down in the dumps, is he? No wonder he hasn't visited in ages. I've seen him like this before. I'll bet it's because he can't think of anything new to make. He's no fun when he's like this. I prefer it when he's waving his saw around and threatening to tie his useless new apprentices to Figara's gift and... Wait, I know. You're a pretty good carpenter, right? Then you can make high-quality walnut lumber. You know how he's always saying stuff like, you must know the wood and all that? Well, I bet if you gave him some really good wood, it'd cheer him up in no time. I know it sounds a bit strange, but then he is a bit strange, isn't he? And we have to try something. I miss the mean old Beaton. And here we have the requirement for high-quality items. And the first time we have this requirement. Okay, but first I need walnut. Good, and of course I did not record the actually making of the item, but leave me, Serenia. I must focus. With this malaise which plagues me, I thought myself resolute as an iron lance, and yet... Guildmaster, would you look at this? Yes, I feel it. I feel it. This high-quality walnut lumber. It's your handiwork, is it not? Dense, durable, and expertly finished. There's no doubting your skills, Serenia. Walnut furniture was once quite popular in Ulda. Mayhap we could revive that tradition. Or better yet, produce a sturdier base for a new vamp plate design. The possibilities are endless, thanks to you, Serenia. It seems I'm now paralyzed with indecision. How have you grown, and in so short a time? You remind me of a dear friend, another soul possessed of great passion. But we walked different paths, we pushed each other to give nothing less than our utmost. He even helped me through those times when inspiration failed me. I see much of him in you, and so I know I can hold you to the same high standards. Return to your work, Serenia, and do not disappoint me. Okay, that worked. Good. He cheered up. And that is the level 25 quest, and also the end of this episode for now. Until next time, when we play more Final Fantasy XIV. I'm Mace, and don't get lost.